Hello traders and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, Friday, August 7th, 2015. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sun skies, white sandy beaches, and a nice cool breeze this morning. Well, yes, it is my morning, traders. Actually, it is Saturday morning for me. Alright, so the New York markets are closed, our week is ended, and we're off and running for another new week in just a couple of days. Traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Friday wrap-up every single Friday after the New York close. Traders, I started trading in 2006, 2008. I came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, well, it's 2015, 8 years later, and I'm still in Asia and absolutely loving living in Thailand. So we got a lot to talk about today. We got over, I think, 16 charts to look at. We're going to take a look at some price action charts. The reason I bring this up is because that's what we should be looking at least once a week. It's good to look at price action on a daily naked chart. Nothing on the chart. Only thing I have on there is a 200 exponential moving average. And I try to keep my charts that way all the time, even when I'm trading live. So I'm always looking for probabilities and opportunities to have trades to be profitable in my direction. And that's what this is all about, probabilities, putting the odds on your side to be successful in your trades. All right, that's enough about me, traders. Let's get the risk disclaimer out of the way. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risks, and you must be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, let's bring up our commentary slide here, and let's look at how the markets closed. I'm seeing a lot of red here in the indices. The US 30 closed negative 2.7%. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.29%. The NASDAQ closed negative 0.43%. The small cap 2000 closed negative 0.49%. Lots of red there. And if we go over to the Eurozone, we see a lot of red also. The DAX closed negative 8.1%. The FTSE 100 out of London closed negative 4.2%. The CAC 40 out of Paris closed negative 0.72%. And the Euro Stoxx 50 closed negative 0.84%. So that's what's going on in the indices. Normally don't talk about what's going on in Asia because Asia has not been able to react to Friday's NFP and all the data that had come out. So no sense talking about that because we'll see that effect come Monday when we do the market opening preview that we do every single day before the London Open. Commentary is a pretty wild week. A lot of data came out during this week. A lot of Australian data came out, up and down all around. A lot of pound data came out. Really move these charts. You can see some movements here that that definitely has changed some ideas of what we're looking at for what's going to happen in the week ahead. I think we got a pretty good week ahead. I think we got some good trading ahead of us. Even though volatility, I have to say, is pretty slow here in our summer months, and you can see that if you trade every day and you watch charts, you can see that it's just not being like September, October, or November. That's for sure. And hopefully earnings seasons is coming down to a slow simmer. That should be ending pretty soon, which is a good thing because it definitely affects us as macro traders because we trade the globe. All right, we're going to talk about some daily charts. Remember, every candlestick on these charts is one 24-hour period in duration. So let's get started. We got like over 16 charts to look at. I'm going to move through them pretty quickly. I want to get this done. This is my Saturday morning, and I really don't want to be sitting in front of my computer all day, so let's get moving. All right, let's get started with the euro dollar. If you look at this spatially, you can tell you that the euro is still in a bearish trend. There's nothing changed there. We had 3 up days, and the euro was really all over the place during the week. However, NFP was lower than expectations, but was within the range that they were expecting. So I don't think that means anything is going to change. I still think that the Fed, that should have been in the commentary, but I still think that the Fed is absolutely going to bump up 25 basis points in September, and they should. And they should do it in December. I don't think 50 basis points is going to make a big deal out of anything. So let's hope Auntie Yellen, our Fed chair, does it and just gets it over with and get out of the news, then get on to something else. Let's look at the dollar Swiss, which is usually opposite of what the euro is doing. And, you know, the Swissy is just so weak. This pair is just absolutely weakened out. You can see it closed on Friday with a higher high and a higher low, and it just keeps on moving to the upside. And we got a ways till we get to this resistance area. If you look left of the chart, you got a resistance area to the left of the chart. We got to watch out for that. And otherwise, this is going to continue to the upside. As long as this continues to the upside, the euro is going to keep taking a beating to the downside. All right, here's a pound dollar chart. This is what happens when you have strong against strong. So the pound was strong this week, and the dollar was strong this week. So this is what happens here. You get a chart that is absolutely sideways. However, we're still above the 200 exponential moving average. But take a look at these candlesticks. So we closed yesterday on Friday with a doji. So we have to keep that in mind. And when we get into trading into next week, you have to realize that. And how are the markets going to react to all the data that came out from NFP and all that data that came out. And the CAD had a lot of data come out. So a lot of data came out yesterday. So we'll see how the markets react. Really, Monday is not a good day to judge. Tuesday is always a better day, especially after NFP. But it wasn't a drastic move with this NFP number. So I think we can get a substantially good day on Monday for trading, which is the next Asia session. I know for some of you that's Sunday night, being on the east coast of the U.S. So let's take a look at the dollar yen. And this platform, unfortunately, I don't have a dollar index chart on here. They don't have the dollar index chart on this platform. And the platform I usually use for my weekend daily charts keeps telling me no connection. So they must be doing maintenance this weekend. So this is a good sign of what the dollar is doing. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing that the dollar is in a range. It's gone up, it's gone sideways, and now we're going to see what's going to happen next. If it's going to continue to be strong or weak. And if you look at, the last 5 days, realize that a lot of this has to do with earnings. I mean, earnings plays a big role in how these currencies react. And I know we don't think about it. We really don't. I traded another instrument in New York, which involves the U.S. The stock market in New York, and it really is amazing. And I didn't realize it until about 6 months ago how much of an impact earnings has on Forex, and it surely does. It's just amazing, especially when you get like the Russell 2000 and stuff like that that make major moves. It definitely has an effect on our currencies. Well, let's take a look at the loonie, the dollar CAD. The CAD has just been on a move that has been unbelievable in weakness, and the dollar is just taking off on this. We end on a Friday with a doji. I have to be honest with you, I don't know what their numbers came out yesterday. I know they also had numbers come out. They have their non-farm, and they also had their employment rate, I think, came out yesterday, and I don't know what that came out as. But apparently, this candle that you're seeing is probably, I don't think this is controlled by the CAD, by no means. I think the CAD is very weak, and I think this is all about the dollar. And I think that's what we're looking at here. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Now, of course, if you take a look at this chart, there's, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out, nothing against a rocket scientist, you guys are very smart, but, this is in a downtrend, right? So what do you see here? We get a blue update candle on the Aussie dollar. at the end of the week, which is pretty funny because now the Aussie had a lot of data come out this week. Some good, some bad, but whatever it is, it had a lot of data come out. And it surely reacted, it looks like, to the NFP, that it didn't meet expectations of what they thought it was. I think they wanted, did they want, what, 237, and they got like 227 or something like that. So it was above 200,000, so that was the key. And as long as that stayed above 200,000, I think the Fed's going to stay on track, and we'll see an interest rate increase in September. So, why do I bring this up? Well, what are we going to do for Monday's trading? Well, folks, this is a daily chart. I'm selling this. I do not want to buy the Aussie dollar. I do not want to buy the Aussie dollar. I want to see a nice red candle, and I'll go down to my lower time frames where I trade, which is the 4-hour, 1-hour, and 30-minute chart, depending on the day. And what I see, because I look at all of them. I look at the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and I trade enter and exit trades on a 30-minute. The 15-minute chart for me is just too noisy. Just can't handle it. Really can't handle it. So we want to sell this coming into the week ahead. Let's take a look at the euro pound. Wow, take a look at this, huh? This is pretty interesting. So the euro's been weak, and that's why we're in a downtrend, and the pound has been strong. However, if you take a look at Thursday and Friday, you can see that the euro had a little bump in its little energy there and bumped up, but then tanked yesterday. Absolutely tanked yesterday. So this is a pretty interesting chart. I don't trade the euro pound. I use it more of a tool, especially when you get into the lower time frames like the 1-hour chart. It'll just show you which is strong and which is weaker, and that's what we want, right? We always want to trade strong against strong or weak against weak. Either one, we want to trade one against the other. So I don't trade this. I do trade this one, though, and this is the Euro Aussie. I love trading this pair. This is a great pair to trade. It's a lot of fun. When it's in its trending mode, it does a great job. When it's not, it's a disaster. So you want to catch this when it's in its mode. It's almost as bad as the pound yen, the beast. I mean, the Euro Aussie is just almost as bad, as far as making sure your entries are absolutely perfect and you get in there at the right time and get a good trade in there. Next pair I'm looking at, we usually don't look at, and that's the Euro Swiss. But I put this pair in this week, one, because it's approaching the 200 exponential moving average, and I think that's significant. I think, by the end of next week, this is going to be touching this 200 exponential moving average, and what's going to happen. Now, this has been moving sideways for a long time until they decided to remove that 120 floor. They moved it, right? So they took the floor out, and nobody wants to own the Swiss franc right now. Nobody wants to own the Swiss franc. So that's why you're seeing these blue candles, because everybody's dumping the Swiss franc. They much rather have a euro than a Swiss franc. So that's why you're seeing this price action on this chart. And I expect this to continue. So I'm waiting for this to hit this 200 exponential moving average. And then it's going to get very interesting what happens from there out. Here's a pair I trade regularly, and it's just, here's a euro yen. Like, what can you say? It's weak against weak, right? This is like putting two magnets together. But the other observation when I look at this chart is it's in a nasty range, but what's the main purpose here? The main purpose here is that it's telling me until it makes a move from this 200 exponential moving average. Now, I realize I don't trade the daily chart. I wish I could trade the daily chart. I would love to trade the daily chart. But my account's not that big. You need a pretty big account to be trading daily charts. pretty big account to be trading daily charts. But this is in a range. And what do I expect for next week? Well, I expect that I'm going to be selling the euro yen, right? I'm going to be selling the euro. And that's what this chart's telling me. As long as it stays below the 200 exponential moving average, that's my bias. And of course, Friday was it end at a doji, another doji. I put this next chart, this pound Swissy chart. This is just to show you how weak the Swissy is. I mean, look at how this pound just took off this week. If you count, just the last 5 candles, that's this week. And this pound just took off this week against the Swissy. again, the Swissy is just in such a bad position right now. It's really, really horrible. And again, another one that's really weak, of course, is the CAD. And here's the CAD yen, right? And everybody's selling the loonie. And, you know, it is what it is. But these are a lot of days. This is probably 2 months worth of candles here. So, well, pretty close to it. And, you know, this has been below the 200 exponential moving average. However, what's very interesting in this chart is, if you look left of the chart, look at where we're at. We are at some very, very significant support. And that is going to be interesting to see how this reacts come next week. We had a red candle, but we're like right at this. I mean, we're sitting on this support that is so strong. If you look left of the chart, every time it's come to this price zone, price area, it's reacted back and has reversed itself to the upside. Even if it was only for 5 days and came back down again, it still reacted to this price zone. So we want to watch that and just keep that in mind as you look through the week. I mean, I don't trade the CAD, so it's not part of my 8 currency pairs that I trade. But I do trade the yen. I trade 2 yen pairs. So, you know, it's something I always like to see what the yen is doing. All right, here is our good friend, the beast. Here's the pound yen. Again, you know, I think that's what's amazing is the V formation that you see. I see how price came down and automatically went right back up again. This is very interesting to see how this reacts now. Basically, you have an inverted head and shoulders here. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this continues. I expect pound strength, so I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up. I was not able to read what Carney said, and I really would like to know what he said. And he spoke last Thursday, I think it was, and I'm really interested to see what he said. But this is going to be an interesting pair to watch. And traders, if you're not trading 6 months live, don't even come near this on a live account. Make sure you're in a demo account, because, you know, just look at this nasty range it's in. This and we realize this is a daily chart. So, you know, these candles are 60, 70, you know, 50 candles, 50 pips worth on one candle. So, you know, you have to be careful here. Now, if you take a look at the average daily range on some of these currency pairs, which you can, there's plenty of stuff that you can get for MT4 or whatever platform you use to get that information. And, you know, it's something that you'd want to look at and see what the average daily range is, because that'll give you an idea of what these candles are. I do a 4-week average on the site that I go to, and it's not a secret. It's called forexticket.com. You know, it's a great site to go, and I'm just looking for the numbers. You know, that's all I'm looking for. I look under currency volatility and I find out what the average range is for 4 weeks, and that's basically how I run that. And that's it. That's all there is to it. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie New Zealand. Now, this is a perfect example of what are we going to do next? Okay, first of all, the New Zealand dollar is extremely, extremely weak. So this is being controlled by the Aussie. So if you look at the last 5 days, even though we had some down days, and that was because they had some bad data, but the New Zealand dumped, and really the Aussie was all over the place. But, you know, I definitely don't want to buy the New Zealand dollar. I don't care what pair it's going against. I do not want to buy the New Zealand dollar. I surely rather take the Aussie short on this pair at this rate, at this point. However, if you look at this chart, because we're looking at price action on a daily chart, you know, my point is that really here we just want to see that this is in a nasty range, but this is probably like a 300 pip range here. So, you know, it's nothing to shake your head at, and you got to pay attention to it. And it's, like I said, it's just a tool. I don't trade this. I wouldn't trade this. This is, you know, this is weak against weak here, so I wouldn't want to trade it. And just to give you an idea of, you know, the power of the Aussie and how weak the CAD is, take a look at this. Here's our Aussie CAD, and you can see the Aussie is so much stronger than the CAD. The CAD is just so weak; it is unbelievable. Just absolutely dumped this week. On Thursday and Friday yesterday, it took a big hit. I didn't see a chart after NFP though on the CAD. So what you're seeing is after NFP and all those numbers, you're seeing the close after Friday on these daily charts. Here's our Aussie, and this is one of the currency pairs that I trade. And it's come up to this resistance level right here, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this works out and what it decides to do. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on that, and see how this reacts. But I would. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's bearish. The currency is bearish because the yen is stronger than the Aussie. I mean, the Aussie is very, very weak. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works out. But I'm bearish in this. I'm always looking to sell the Aussie yen. And our last chart of the weekend, or the week, is our New Zealand dollar chart. And this is what I'm talking about. Do you really want to buy the New Zealand dollar? And I know what you're saying. You're saying, William, look at those last two candles. Those are some pretty big up days. You're right, but talk to me on Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's see what it looks like. I expect this just to turn around, and dollar strength is going to come back in the market, and this thing is just going to keep dumping. And all I want to do with the New Zealand dollar is sell it. Sell it, sell it, sell it. If you're scalping, that's a whole different story. But if you're above a 1 hour chart, you want to really pay attention to your 4 hour and your daily charts. Always look at them first before you make a trade plan. Well, that wraps up over 16 daily charts. I did that pretty good. We did that in about 18 minutes. So that worked out pretty well. Traders, I just want to remind you that this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our site at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. And it's a cool site to look at. It's got a lot of trading opportunities, a lot of trading options, not options as far as options, stock options, just options of things that you can do. And it's a pretty neat platform. So go check it out and grab a demo account. Try it out. See if you like it. Traders, on behalf of myself and, of course, FXCL, we'd like to thank you for joining me for the Friday wrap-up. And like I said, for me, it's early on a Saturday morning. And I intend to have a great weekend. So why don't you enjoy your weekend, too, with loved ones, friends, neighbors, even the guy driving by. Just wave to him and say hello. Keep a smile on your face, and we'll talk to you in the next Asia session for the market opening preview, which is uploaded before the London Open. Take care, traders. Have a great day. Bye-bye.